Yeah, he's good friends with a good friend.
Aloysius. Welcome to the $25,000 added Ohio Open. This is the fourth U.S. Pro Billiard Series event sponsored and presented by CueSports International and Predator. We have 60 players for this event, being held in conjunction with the CueSport International's League Ohio State Championships in the Roberts Center in Wilmington, Ohio. Game is 10 ball, 2 races to 4 with a spot shot shootout if each player wins a set. This is George Teachan booth with Mr. Jeremy Jones bringing you the live action. And Shark, Syed, and Ernesto Dominguez, 2 fine players. Getting ready to do some battle.
Yeah, Ernesto, one of the great Mexican players of all time, and of course his son, we all know him, another great Hispanic player, I believe. Ooh, nice. You know, when you put the cue ball close to that side pocket, bad things happen, right?
So, balls are flying all around the side pocket, so yeah, he gets knocked in.
Yeah, Shark Syed from Singapore travels with Aloysius Yap, and actually went to Lindenwood University with Mark Wilson. Got his degree from Lindenwood and entertained some of that. He's a super sharp kid. But now back where he wants to be in the pool world. Got a great opening to continue his pool career from the Ronnie O'Sullivan new online. I think he's going to be teaching snooker in different cue sports. But Ernesto, who lives in Southern California, nobody knows the tables better. He puts them together. Watch out, 10 ball. Oof.
Oh, keep going. There we go.
Well, he's queuing over it now a little bit.
I didn't see the 4 ball. I was looking at his 5-9 combo. He was about. I thought he was going to shoot.
Now he could roll this and take a little more cut on the 5. Yeah.
Ouch.
That's going to roll out and give up a shot. It looks like.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what elevating your cue can do for your accuracy. What looked like a routine shot, turned into a miss. And that was a hard shot.
Yeah, definitely a hard shot. And kind of got over it quickly to, and that's the mistake you can make sometimes is you just assume you need to stop your ball a lot of times. And I'm not saying that wasn't ideal to stop it, but maybe not necessary just because it made the 4 so much more missable, right? Roll that ball in, take a little more cut on the 5. You have to move the cue ball from the 5 to the 7, but hey, you're probably still at the table.
Yeah. I just remember many, many, many years ago, I can't remember who, a billiard player told me when you're over a ball, you kind of just, like you say you throw the cue at the ball, at the cue ball. You kind of just do that when you're over the ball, and that seems to be the best result. It sounds so easy to do, but so many times we see that kind of a result.
Now perfect here to just lay on the bottom rail. That really, you can hit either side of the 9 and get to the 10, but really laying on the bottom rail really is like the most accurate. It's where you'd put it with ball in hand and just kind of draw the cue ball up the side rail.
Now you recommend coming down towards the right-hand side pocket or coming across?
Oh no, you would never come across.
Okay, so
yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, just again, least amount of cue ball movement.
And game number 1 will be going to Shark.
Now Shark, who's been in the States for, well, going on 2 months now, has had some nice results, cashed in a few events, played some great matches, looking for that big cash though. I know his countryman Aloysius plays tonight, I believe. He got a bye, but I think he may play in the morning, but I thought he may have played a second round tonight. I don't see him here sweating his countryman, so may be preparing for that match.
No.
Nice hit on the one there.
Comes the 9 ball.
And that's kind of what I was talking about earlier, as far as a lot of these guys going right to the side rail on this table. And I think I would just have to take a chance at what you would normally break from the center 10 ball.
Aloysius is playing at 9:30 p.m. tonight versus Daniel Schneider.
Okay.
He did have a bye in the first round.
And Daniel Schneider, who's another guy that's bringing his game along.
Oh, sure. He played real well in Vegas.
Yep. Now resides, originally from Europe, but now resides in Texas, San Antonio. His wife plays. He's got to pull this a little bit. I don't think he can go forward and really do anything. He's got to pull this with low and a hair of outside and have a good speed coming 2 rails. That looks, oh, he didn't get by the 7. If he gets by the 7, the speed looked about perfect. Yeah.
And he ended up perfectly hooked behind the 6.
Yeah, this one here, you got to come to the end rail.
Kick it up past the 7 and stay behind those balls.
With the 5-7, the way it lays, though, like a medium roll shot. No, not light, but go ahead and let the cue ball roll forward after hitting the 2. Let the 2 come up to the end rail. Maybe you get them up on the 5. Well, it's going to turn loose a pocket for the 2, and Ernesto a little off angle, but he's got a shot to get going.
Yep, this will start him out.
Or can he roll through and get on that 4 easily, or does he have to try and maybe manipulate the cue ball?
I think he's just going to go up a little bit.
Oh, he could get through there. Okay.
Yeah. A little bit. Well, I guess he's going to go 2 rails and play that 5 in the side.
Oh, that's pretty hot there.
Oh, that is.
I think he's got a corner for the 5 by the 8, but not much of a pocket. I don't know if he can get at it now. It's close.
If he can't get at it, he'll probably consider banking it in the corner.
Ernesto plays with, I'm not sure what kind of cue now, but much different equipment than he used to play with. Plays with about a 12-inch extension on there. It looks like very long extension.
I should have asked him, and I shouldn't say anything on the stream about this. I heard a long time ago that's a Revo shaft that he painted white because you couldn't see the cue.
Oh.
Now, I don't know how accurate that is. I'll ask him after the match. I was talking to him for quite a while when I first got here this morning. He's always a pleasure to talk to.
Well, a lot of people, I don't think, realize how good he played at one time.
I
played him a lot
remember.
through the years. I can't get real close to the 6. Just got to tell you, he's going to be a little on the wrong side. Now, he does have the 7 in the side, so he probably just pushes through to the end rail. Shark, probably the smartest human in the building. Super bright guy.
You know, as I look at these Predator balls, and that cue ball is just, I want to play with it, just to play with, just to get how it reacts and how it, plays. For instance, like I use the meso ball and I use the red circle, and I can feel the difference in those two. And I want to play with this just to feel the difference of all 3 balls.
Yeah, I think similar to the measle, a
is.
little bit heavier it plays. It rolls out a little more, little more sticky, kind of like feeling, kind of like grabby.
Yeah, okay. And those are things you want to, you want to feel for yourself. Well, he's got these 2 balls to take a 2-0 lead over Ernesto, and we'll probably go to a little break here. I'm not sure. We usually go to a little break every other game. So see how he brings this. Oh, I did that perfectly. Let me just. And this 10 ball, and we will go to break, and Shark will be back to break for game number 3. And we're back to live action with Shark Syed to break the balls for game number 3, leading 2-0 over Ernesto Dominguez. Players are just about 6-7 points apart in Fargo. 741 for Shark, 734 for Ernesto. Yet they are 35 years apart in age, Ernesto coming in at 66 years of age. There's Karim from Predator and Ozzie Reynolds in the background there. I don't know if you missed him.
Were you saying Shark is 31?
31, that's what he just told me.
Oh, wow. Guess time does fly.
I seem to recall him saying he was younger than that when we were in Vegas, but I didn't write it down, so I didn't remember it.
Yeah, I thought he was about 28, but
yeah.
Nice break off here. Probably just as well as anyone we've seen all day break the balls, and both of these have been from the center of the table. So can't ask for much more than here as far as the spread.
And talk about minimal cue ball movement for maximum coverage for all these balls. Jeez. There's his right-hand sleeve there. You see the ROSSA, and that is the Ronnie O'Sullivan School Academy, Snooker Academy you spoke of.
Yeah, snooker's still a pretty big deal in in Asia. I wouldn't say as much in Southeast Asia, even though my friend said when he grew up he played snooker a lot there. I know it still has a presence. But of course with Aloysius doing what he's done of late, and both these guys really investing, they're
full time, yeah.
Well, they're putting an academy together there in Singapore, so they're really trying to make the sport grow there in that country.
I think he told me he was working for a bank, and now with a good sponsor, Ronnie O'Sullivan School, and along with Predator, he says he can make a go of this.
Yeah.
And sponsors is a big part of the game for a lot of the players out there. And now with these U.S. Pro Billiard Series events, they'll be able to find somewhat of a very successful tour. We had 4 events this year. This is the 4th. I believe they have at least 5 next year, in conjunction with the 2022 in March Predator World 10 Ball. So we'll have the Diamond Las Vegas Open in March, along with Arizona in January. And then when these other states like Ohio and Michigan have their state events, we'll have the U.S. Pro Billiard Series. And 3 balls. Pretty much self-explanatory as to how he's going to get to them. For game number 3. Ernesto hasn't been to the table much.
Yeah, it looks like Shark has really worked on his game. Before, he was one that really stunned the ball almost every shot. Oh my, didn't expect that.
Oh. Well, did I speak soon or what?
Well, I think I did as well, but
yeah, well, geez, that's completely unexpected from us.
Should take this bank on, I think, huh?
I think Ernesto will.
Nice shot. Watch out, cue ball.
It got away.
Yeah, he was trying to hold it underneath the 10, trying to play a bit of a two-way shot, but no, he's got to shoot it. Now, if you make the 10 and scratch, the 10 has not got to get shot. It does not get shot, actually.
Yeah, it's just automatic loss.
Right.
Which I don't understand that rule. What difference does it make? You're going to have ball in hand on the 10. Just save time. And that is game number 3 for Shark. In a race to 4. Getting back, we were speaking earlier regarding the U.S. Pro Billiard Series player rankings. And what they do with that is they have the tournament points that you get for where you place in a tournament, combined with Fargorate points, which is what Fargo's formula is for how you perform in a tournament. And that gives you a total points. To give you an example, Fargorate, he's at 200 tournament points, and Fargorate points are 238, so he has 438 points and is in first place. These two players, Shark is number 46 rank, and Ernesto is number 38 ranked out of 160 players that have played in these events. So they have these rankings for them, and that's available at the bottom of the where you scroll down under player rankings. When you go to playcsipool.com and you scroll down, you'll see the player guide, you'll see the bracket, you'll see watch live, and that's available for you to look over. A lot of information for you guys out there.
I'll tell you, some of these players should watch what Shark's doing here with the break. He's breaking just like you would with the template. A little pop, making the second ball. Now the 2 has gotten a little funny again. We've seen that throughout the day, it seems like.
What does he want to do with this 2?
I would do what he's looking at now. I would try to get as easily as I could on a 2-6 combo. It's not that bad. I don't know if he can go above the 7 or do it, or he has to go between the 3-7 to do it. I don't know yet. Uh-oh, that might be behind the 7. Yeah, he kind of let up on it a little bit. So he's just going to have to make a good kick here at the 2. Call the 9 on the side, maybe. Yeah, that's what he's called.
And he's actually called exactly that. Nice hit. It's going to not turn out too good for him.
Not easy for Ernesto unless he wants to play a 3-10, though. Getting by that 9 and killing the ball back up, he may have to juice this with a little inside. This is what we talked about earlier. When you go against the grain and then try and check it the other way, a lot of times it doesn't get there.
Yeah.
Okay, he played the left for the 310, so it's called the 10.
He just gave Shark the bad news as he was walking by. Said, I'm going to make this 10 ball. And I think he made the mistake of playing it two-way behind the 7.
I kind of agree with you there. I was maybe going to mention that a lot of times, unless it's like straight on my line, you know, oh, let me draw back a little bit, let me fall over a little bit right here for the safety. But if I have to like keep the safety in mind while I'm shooting the shot, the combo there, I kind of disregard the safety, especially if I feel like it's a very makeable combo. So.
I do too. If it's not laying dead to play the safety, I just put all my efforts into pocketing that 10 ball.
Right.
The 6 ball's not all that easy. Now, of course, it wasn't that way earlier.
Watch out, cue ball.
Oh. Well, Ernesto likes this gift.
Yeah, a little unlucky there for Shark going into the 5 on that bank shot. Not only pocketing the 5, but coming across and scratching. So. All right, Ernesto making sure the 8 passes the 10. Well, now he looks like he's coming across. Well, okay, nice shot. Held the ball nice.
I was talking to him early this morning when I first got here, and he's saying he just wishes he could play more. He says he still feels comfortable at the table. He still feels in command. He still feels like he just doesn't have the opportunity to play enough.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah. I'm retired, and I know that feeling. You get so busy with life that, you know, pool seems to get in the way sometimes. Well, after this 10 ball, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with Ernesto breaking. We'll see you right back. There's Ernesto Dominguez to break the balls, trailing 1-3 in the first set in a race to 4. He doesn't want to concede this first set, not in the slightest. He wants to have that first set advantage. And Cue ball seems to be out in the middle of safety, but nothing on the break.
Yeah, nice opener for Shark, and 4's a little funny, but really the 10's there to keep the cue ball kind of contained for the 5. So really don't see a whole lot of problems. I mean, don't get me wrong, there is some work, but just got to get through a few situations. Should be okay.
Just keep in mind there is a 30-second shot clock with 1 30-second extension per player per game. So
I think he might be looking at a 4-10. You would doubt that, but he's playing this 3 in the opposite side.
He can't get back there, can he?
Back where?
Back to the side pocket where he is now, on the side where he is now, to play the 4-10.
Well,
oh, wait a minute. There, I thought he was shooting the 3 ball next time. Sorry, Jeremy. I got ahead of myself. Yeah, I got you. Sorry.
It's a little light, so he's going to have to make a good shot here on the 3. The good thing is he's way light. So angle to move the cue ball to the side rail and back over is not, you know, it's pretty premium on that. So pretty big pocket here with this much angle. If you can hit it pretty well, it should accept the ball. Yeah, just like that. It wasn't hit perfect, right? But
yeah, well, he got what he had to get.
no, he's gotten exactly where he wants to get here now. Now the 6 goes by when the 4's gone. So I play for the up in the middle of the table after shooting the 5 myself. I don't like drawing to the backside of the 6 there with the 10 and all that. I like that really open part of the table. Well, he's going to get heavy, so it looks like to me he's thinking about drawing behind it. And there's nothing wrong with that, don't get me wrong. It just seems like a little more can go wrong that way.
Well, with this cloth and with the reaction you're getting from the cloth, a little draw can go a long way here and get you in trouble.
Yeah, well, and the good thing about it is it's not hard to draw the ball, right? But, you know,
I think he's going up.
I'm not so upset with this play at all. Don't get me wrong. I've done that kind of thing a long time. But I like to get to the corners a lot myself. So
yeah, I agree with that, but he did a great job.
No, he did real well.
He did real well there with that cue ball.
And when we discuss things like this, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we're supposed to play devil's advocate a little bit, but also we think long term. You know, like what's going to long term happen? You keep doing one thing one way versus another. And then some people like the sides better than corners, so there's not really an argument that one's better, right? So,
well, I think part of it, Jeremy, is you play a lot of one pocket, and I play a lot of one pocket, and I have no use for side pockets. And so in my rotation game, I've kind of left it out.
Yeah, that has a little bit to do with it, I think. But just
I think so.
When I was around, I was lucky enough to be around Buddy a little bit and, you know, hear their thoughts and, you know, watch them think while they play, right? Even though you can't hear them think, but you can see.
You can see it.
What the routine is, yeah. Minimal cue ball movement. And we saw him draw his ball earlier in game 1 from the 9 to the 10, I believe it was, and no problem there. So
I think we'll see it again. If he could get to where it's at now, he'd be loving life.
Yeah, don't expect that much out of it, but somewhere around the side pocket.
And this is for set number 1 for a 4-1 win.
Little funny cueing over that side, a little bit. Pretty solid opening set there from Shark.
I watched it.
Oh.
Thought your podcast was great. Ernesto Dominguez to break the balls. I was referring to Jeremy's podcast with Pool Player Podcast, Joey Ryan, where they highlighted Jeremy and gave us a lot of insight to what's coming up.
That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. It was very informative too.
Oh,
I thought you guys both did. I thought you both did a great job.
Well, good.
I watch the podcast. It notifies me, and I like watching those. Like watching his Pool Player podcast and his Booth Brothers podcast.
Touchy little shot here. Tell you what, if I had a hair more angle, I'd draw up the rail and try and bump the 4 or the 9 to try and get a little closer to this 2. If I was a little straighter, I would draw back in that gap between the 9 and 8, and this one's just not sitting ideal either way. So it looks like he's trying to go to the right of the 4-9 maybe stun out. He tried to guide it in there to that little spot.
Oh,
and that was tough.
Tried to just lay it on the rail.
Yeah, I would have let the stroke out myself and gone to the rail and tried to bump the 4, bump the 9, you know, create a little bit, make the cue ball escape, I guess.
I get you, and
I mean, it might have cost me, but
yeah. Well, so this cost
but I'm coming towards the 2 is my point. You know, there's a lot of good things
him.
that can happen. So
sometimes you just look at it and you just think you can just lay the ball on the rail and everything's good, and you end up with this. Giving up ball in hand.
Ball in hand.
And this is going to start the second set for Ernesto with ball in hand.
Yeah, he's going to lay this on the rail underneath the 2, I think, and draw the ball. I think.
Well,
hard 3 to get on. Yeah, right there. That's what I would do. Hard 3 to get on, giving it an angle out in the center of the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need some nice steam on this cue ball here, coming back towards the 6-7 now. We might get a bad bump. Oh. Oof, I don't know if it opened up or not, George. It's real close.
Well, it's close.
It's not that. He definitely can't hit right English, and that's what he needs to get on the 4. Unless he goes up and down, maybe. I don't know if he can make this. This looks like... No, he can't. He's trying to edge it and run the cue ball. Great hit there.
Is this going to get all the way behind the 10? No, not quite.
Trying,
he was trying, but yeah.
I'm not sure what the shot is here. And then you could bank the 3 down, but it's you know, in a perfect world, you think you're supposed to be able to lay on that side rail and hit the 3 full. But what happens is you usually cut the 3 a little too much and bank it towards the 10 and give up a shot.
Try to get the cue ball behind the 6.
Maybe, yeah, that's not bad. Lay the 3 on the side rail. Maybe even use the 7.
Yeah.
No,
he went the other way.
Yeah, and he had the hit right on the nose, but the speed was a little heavy.
Oh, to lay it on the bottom rail. Yeah. Gotcha.
Still left no tester for Ernesto.
I'll have to make sure I ask him about that shaft. Because if it comes up again, if he's on the stream again, I want to be able to say it with certainty, not I heard through the grapevine.
Well, the shaft's one thing, but the long extension, much different than what he used to play with. All right, just a little below center tip. Come across gently to get on the 4. Don't want a lot of speed on that cue ball. You can get hooked easily.
Like that?
Yeah.
I think you might be able to see the left side of it.
Yeah, you just had to accept the cut a little more there. Oh, he's got it, I think.
Well, the way he's cueing, he seems to.
Yeah. Now comes off the ball. And the 4 caught the 7, it looks like. It stood up there on the side rail. Fortunate for Shark, it didn't open up. Don't know if really Ernesto can play an offensive shot here. Oh, did he fluke a ball in? He fluked the ball in. I'm sorry, I was watching and Shark had me where I couldn't see it. So he's pocketed the 6 is what he's done. And Ernesto gave it back, which is kind of surprising to me. Is it that hard to get by the 7 with the cue ball?
I don't think so. I think he.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised that Ernesto gave this back. Pretty clean look here, even though you're not, you're not shooting straight at the pocket, right? But I mean, not a bad look though overall.
Well, he's left a tough shot here. Ernesto will probably use the 5-8-9 to
run the
put
cue
the cue
ball
behind.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That looks pretty good. He's going to give up more of the rail first than I thought.
He left him the perfect angle.
Yeah, looks like the side buck, the far point is a little in the way to make it.
It does. It's so close.
A little bit, but he could kick and stick. He can manipulate the cue ball a little bit. Yeah, see how his line is? Like the side's just a hair in a way, so he's got to make a decision. I don't think before the side is much of an option at all. I think after the side pocket, maybe hitting downward like he's doing. Is he hitting before the side? Oh, he hit it with right English, make it slide off on that slick felt. So a little battle here in game number 1 of set 2.
And I have a feeling Mr. Dominguez is going to come away with control of the battlefield. This is the first game of the second set.
It's a little light there. Now the cue ball's going to be very hot. That's way light there, George.
Well, if he can hit this one just as light, that's right at the corner pocket.
Yeah,
that's ugly.
He's going to have to maybe put something on this and try and go into the 8. Watch out for the scratch that way. Nice shot there, Ernesto. Very nice. It's about as short side as it gets.
Nine ball for the side, and he will come away with this first game. Ernesto Dominguez with the first game of the second set. After he pockets his 10 ball. And the cue ball rolls to safety. He'll help John get the ball so he can get him racked. And do his best to win the second set to send this into a shootout. I'd really like to see a shootout here, Jeremy, just to see how he goes around shooting this ball. Does he stun it and whip out of those 2 rails, or does he come across, as we've spoken, just a little bit above center and use the bottom rail, side rail, and head rail?
Are you talking about Ernesto?
Ernesto, yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he's played in a few of these, so I'm sure he's been in the shootout. I just haven't witnessed one. Nice solid break from the side rail. He's made the 6 in the side. 1's coming up. He's back on the end rail, but
they got kicked back. The cue ball was right about where the 5 is, just below it, and it got kicked all the way back.
Long and somewhat straight here. He has a little bit of an angle, so he can come to the rail and out. Doesn't have to slow roll it.
Nice shot there.
Yeah, I don't think
this
the 3
ball's
passes.
tough. It doesn't.
He's got to draw it back short side. Nice shot. Overcooked it a little bit though.
Oh, he's going to be behind the 4. He might be able to cut it to the right-hand corner.
Maybe. I think it's a little thinner. I think he's got a little less of that.
A little less of that.
I think he does have a piece of the 3, but
not
very
enough.
good mass player. So that's what we're seeing here.
Oh, he was really hooked. He had to come out a long way.
Well, if that is some hidden carbon fiber he's got in that cue, it's the one shot was still like a little bit uncertain at times. It was a masse. I'm a pretty good masse player overall, I'd say, and took me a little bit to really figure out when it breaks. How like it pushes the ball out a hair more before it brings it back. So just a few things that were a little different to me when it came to the masse for my Q-Tex energy, and but other than that, it wasn't a whole lot of change. But it seems like it puts a little more on it, like he missed his to the wide point, right? Like maybe hitting the right part of the cue ball pushes the ball out a little bit more on the masse.
A couple of masses I've tried with the carbon fiber. I've had the ball kind of just like take off right away instead of push out and then come over.
Oh yeah, okay. It's quite the opposite of what I was
quite the opposite. Yeah, I've had it come over like that. I've had the other two though, but it's just the way I cued the ball. It just seems to be more. I think you have to be a little more on target on how you strike the ball.
Well, it's just like anything with the carbon fiber, in my opinion. It's if you get to where you're over hitting the ball, a lot of the cue, the shaft can look like it's not the thing to play with.
Right.
But if you're in stroke, if you're in tune, timing's good. It's like for sure it seems like the cue to play with.
I totally agree. It's just some players will say it's not for me. Well, their timing's not quite there.
Yeah, and I get that as well, though. I do. I do get it's not for some people. So and that luckily why there's so good. There's so many different ones made along with of course, the maple shafts. So.
Well, here's Sharik's first shot at a 10-ball this set after winning the first one 4-1, and we're going to go to a break. Off and running in this first round match between Sharik Sayed and Ernesto Dominguez. Second set, tied at 1. Sharik won the first set 4-1. Ernesto won and to send this to a shootout.
Good solid hit. Watch out, 10 ball.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this 2 ball come around the table and knock the 10 right in the hole.
Carbon copy of
the one we saw earlier by Evan Lunda.
That's right. I think it was the 2 ball that came around then to catch that 10 in the corner.
And that's the third 10 ball break we've seen today on the stream table. Mr. Dominguez not too happy about that, but them's the breaks.
He's seen it before.
Yeah, he's seen it before. He's seen everything before. Here, Jeremy, I got something to show you here. How's that? You've seen that before?
What's that? The logo?
The logo.
Yeah.
Jory Ryan, that was for you. The one pocket. .com. Good look at his break.
Uh-oh.
Reaction again.
Well, I don't know. It's coming.
It moved. The 8 ball was coming to do it again. 10 ball rolled a little too hard.
I don't know if he's got a shot at the 1 or not. It's
Looks
close.
like he does.
It is close with the 5 there. He sure does like it if he does have a shot at the 1. He's full enough to come down that left side rail for a shot at the 2. Now, he may have to shoot the 2. If he's going into the 9, we'll see how he wants to play it. But
see how far down table he gets off the head rail.
Yeah, he should get down pretty decent, though, at least to the side. That's a great camera view there. That definitely tell us he's got a shot. Oh, he caught it heavy. Kind of kicked on him a little bit.
Oh. Body language just told everything, didn't it?
Yeah, and I don't think he even has a sliver of this, too. So, not a hard kick, though. Of course, to hit it, that's pretty obvious, but how he wants to hit it. And do you kick and try and hit an edge, George, and bring the cue ball up behind the 6?
I think so. I think you have to just go ahead and kick it underneath it and push it up, see what happens. Nice and soft. Get it by the 9 and maybe slide by there.
Right.
Yeah, something like that.
He may have given up the 2. I don't know.
I think he did.
I don't know if it's makeable or not. 9 sure looks like it's covering up about 2/3 of that 2 ball to me. So it's really stretched, of course, but is he overcutting the 2? Yeah, that's what I thought he had to do. And if you don't get the snooker there, you know you got way the worst of it.
10 the cue ball behind the 10 here?
I think so. I mean, he doesn't have to go that far. Just make sure you contain the 2 well. He's got the 9, 6, and 4 there to really do things with, right? If going all the way to the 10 makes you have to hit the 2 uber thin, I stay away from going all the way to the 10. But if it lays natural, it's okay. But don't be afraid to just use the 6, 9 here.
To me, it's just that real easy 3 cushion shot.
Yeah, but you see how much more the 2 leaks out whenever you try to get on the behind the 10. That's the problem.
He hit a lot more of it than I thought.
Well,
because he would have come in deeper.
Yeah, that for sure. He checked it with a little right spin. I just thought it didn't lay where you had to go behind the 10. I thought it was a lot more risky shot because then you got a lot of chance to open the 2 up because you're making the cue ball travel so much further, you know. So.
Well, Ernesto did a good job with his. But no, I get you. It's just and you were right as far as you don't have to go that far
because you had those 3 balls there to really keep Ernesto locked up, right? So now I guess he doesn't have to jump the 3 at all. Obviously going over the 4-9, but. Oh, great shot.
Shark sponsored by Predator. I believe.
I guess the 4 or the 3-way combo is very playable. Now, if he has to cut this at all, the 9, he'll miss it. Yeah, you know, if it's going into the low rail here a little bit, the low point needs to throw the ball in. I think it's just right in the pocket, though. So, meaning, yeah, look at that. That's perfect.
Well, this 3-ball didn't come up for him real well, but I think he'll shoot it.
Yeah, I don't think the 3 bothers him too much. He's addressing the 6-9. The 3, he can go up and down the table to get on the 5. The right side of the table, besides the 6-9, is very clear.
If he can reach this well, do you see him using some left-hand spin and going into the 6?
That looks a little dicey to me, but maybe. I think he just goes up and down. Yeah, didn't get the cue ball speed he wanted. If he gets up a little bit, he can go into those balls if needed. Now I don't know. Looks like the safety is what he's got in mind.
My question is he going 1 rail straight at that spot he just touched, or is he going 2 rails into that spot?
He's cutting it.
So he's going 1 rail.
Yeah.
If he's cutting it, he's going 1 rail at it.
Oh, he just called it just because.
Yeah,
no reason not to.
There's what I thought he was going to do right here. He just didn't. Oh, he did get there.
Yeah,
Never mind,
great.
he did get there. Rail first.
Maybe.
Send the cue ball all the way to the 6.
I think you come right inside it and break it out probably if you go rail first, unless you catch it super thin or something. But if you catch it like what you would call medium to the pocket, the hit, I think you come 1, 2, 3 and right above the 6-9 and into it. Maybe short side even. Yeah, he caught it thin, so he might scratch even. So caught it way thin.
Yes, he did.
From that angle, he almost hit the middle, a little above the middle diamond off the 3rd rail over here. So trying to go behind the 6. So again, you have to be pretty perfect. You probably open up the 6 a little bit, trying to go behind the 10 with the cue ball. That's a great touch, but keeping the 6 there, but
pretty good job.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to make him come with something, right? You can't just give him an easy one. It's going to go a little long. And I'd like to know what the weight is on that extension that Ernesto has. Yeah. And the reason why I played him so many times, known him so long, know his game really well, his stroke, everything. And it seems like that Cue's wanting to go up with
the extension.
That's what it looks like. It's wanting to go up a little bit on the stroke, you know, because of the extreme weight in the back or whatever's going on there. And it just doesn't look like exactly Ernesto Dominguez that I'm used to seeing. Of course, we've all, time passes, right? So
we make adjustments.
Yeah. And I understand the weight of the cue thing. It's been a hot item the last 15 years, 12, 15 years, something like that. Want a little more angle here. But it just looks like the shaft wants to go up a little bit to me, George.
Like that weight's drawing that hand down at the end?
Yes, exactly, okay. Yeah.
Well, because I've hit some balls with an extension on there, and it's pretty, not a light extension, so I can see what he's playing with, and it just seems to steady the stroke.
Yeah, I get that, but I mean the balance has got to be right for that, though.
Exactly.
So.
Well, for a 3-1 lead,
it's almost like kids when you put a heavy cue in their hand. you'll see the shaft when they make the stroke want to come almost off their bridge hand, to be honst with you, and go up in the air because the weight distribution isn't right for them.
Weight, or do you think that's the elbow dropping or the stroke coming down?
Well, I think can be a contributing factor from the weight a little bit.
And it makes sense. It makes sense. I just wanted to.
No, I mean, and I like the weight back. Most players want the weight back because, you know, if the weight gets in front of you, and there's some that do like that, you can almost feel like you're pushing the cue instead of pulling it down the line, you know, like so. But I saw it actually in Arizona. He had that cue, and I watched him play quite a bit actually, practicing, and then he did play one TV match in Arizona that we did. I can't remember exactly who he played there, but I was kind of noticing. I know you can, George. That was your cue, by the way, George.
But that was my cue.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. We'll get to that later on, but it definitely seemed a little something different to me, you know. So, all right, Shark has broke from the center exclusively, pretty much, and has hit him very square. Getting a good mark on a lot of those balls. The one ball's going to go. It looks like.
Yes, it is.
I think he's going to get a tester.
He's got a shot on the 2 ball.
Yeah, nowhere to go for shape, though, George.
The 3, yeah, that's what you do with the 3.
Looks like the 8's got the cross-side bank covered up.
How about playing the 2 ball off the rail into the 9, into the corner, and slide the cue ball down right by the 3?
You mean as a safety or
as a safety and as a two-way shot?
Maybe.
As a 2-way.
Maybe.
It looks like it lays pretty good on the screen.
It's not bad. Very straight stroke, Shark.
Now from there, it looks like he has too much angle for that.
Oh, sweet hit there.
He just did it straight in the pocket.
I think earlier, he does have I thought the 8 was in the way, but earlier I was saying that he was one that very much stunned the ball. Kind of like a little bit of a lever stroke, you might say, very piston-like, and it looks like he's made a conscious effort to get a little more rhythm in the swing. And I'll tell you, he didn't figure he could probably bank it short by that 8, did he?
I guess not.
But hanging out with Aloysius, and of course Han is a great player too from Singapore. Who's been traveling with the guys, he's been the best player in Singapore for a long time. And but both those guys play with a nice rhythm, especially Aloysius. So I'm sure some of that rubbing off. Those guys talk about pool all the time. If the 7 wasn't there, he might kick here with a high ball and go to the rail. Even though he can see the 3, he might kick with a high ball and kind of kick and stick it. But the 7's in the way to make the 3 escape. So don't think that's really an option here. He could maybe kick cross-side it and call it, actually. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to escape, really.
That'll cut down the rail.
Yeah, he should shoot at this. Now, I would hit it with a high ball, try to open up the 5-6 myself if I was going to shoot it, because the 5-6 is a little funny, right?
Would you consider the safety just laying it on top of the 6 there?
I would consider it, but I mean...
This is a better shot.
Yeah, most of the guys shoot at their pocket, right? You know, so... I know he missed, but... Ernesto...
Now he's down 3-1 here. He's got to get control.
Yeah, well, he became the player he became knocking those in.
Exactly. But as he was saying this morning, he hasn't been playing much at all, and but he wants to play.
Oh, smart move right there. Shark was considering shooting kind of quickly there since the beeps and trying to preserve that extension, but very smart here, up 3-1. Take that extension.
Well, you did say he was one of the smartest men in the room.
I think he's probably the smartest, George.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm taking him. How about that?
Okay. IQ test, and Jeremy says, my money's on him.
You would never know it either. He's a very humble guy.
When you talk to him, though, you can hear it.
Oh, yeah.
You can hear it.
Boy, he is much of a listener. He loves to absorb. Okay, got nice on this 5-6. This cue ball goes just a little bit more. Okay, should be able to hold if you have the experience here. Even though at your pool room you'd say, man, I'm on the wrong side of the ball. What am I going to do? But here on the newer felt with just a straight low tip, you can really hold this ball easily. Oh, he overcut it a long ways. Surprising.
He's going to get a safety on the 5. Looks like.
Maybe.
Can you see that 5 ball?
I don't know. Even more importantly, does the 6 pass the 9?
Yeah, there's also that.
Or I guess that's not more importantly, but almost just as important.
But it looks like that cue has a ferrule on it, so it may not be carbon fiber.
Oh, nice shot there. Wanted a little more out of the cue ball, but really nice hit on the 5.
3 more inches and he was in business. Right behind that 6.
Go behind the 6 again here?
I think so.
Plays pretty natural, right?
It does, but the 8 ball seems to give him part of his access. Unless you go way inside like this.
Yeah, that's the way to go for sure. Nice shot.
Oh, there, it's perfect. That laid in so nice to come underneath the 9 like that.
Now Ernesto usually would kick 3 rails behind this ball, hitting right before the side with just a touch of right, and then come behind it 3 rails. He's called it in that opposite side. But
that cue ball should shoot down towards the 6 ball if he hits it pretty close to what he's aiming.
I was going to say, good call, George. Oh, my. Oh, my. How bad is this?
Come out, that's horrible. That's just a very bad roll there.
Yeah, cruel game we play sometimes. But probably, you know, as we all know how humans are, probably one of the bigger reasons we play it is because it's so cruel sometimes.
Well,
beats us down, picks us up, so on.
It's just like, in a way, well, to me, it takes the same mindset as it does to play golf. Pool does. And it's also the same rewards bring you back for the same punishment.
Oh, yeah.
It's exactly the same way. It drives you crazy.
Okay, doesn't want to be cueing over the 7. Okay, I didn't know what was going to happen there.
This ball will slide. Looks like it'll slide past the 9.
And not only for shape's reason, but to make the 6. If you got a half a pocket, or it's probably not half a pocket. It's probably a little more generous than that. But you want to be able to cue the ball nicely. Now, for me, I'm not a side pocket guy, but to let the stroke out here, I might come back from the side. It doesn't bother me either way. He held it too much.
He stayed soft to make sure it slid. Sometimes you put just a little more speed on that, and it
might bobble, huh?
Yeah, it might bobble. But not from there. I just think that's what it took to be accurate.
Right.
And that was the stroke it took for him to be accurate with that.
All right. Hair up inside. Letting the cue ball run. Oh, he killed it with outside. Nice shot. I love that shot.
Look at this. Dead set perfect.
Yeah, it's weird. You learn that 3 rails with inside is like the coolest shot ever.
It is.
And then you tend to leave it alone for the next 30 years or something like that. So.
Yeah, actually, once you learn it well, you don't leave it alone. You use it when
well,
you can.
yeah, but really you stay away from it, though. It's still a variable, You're drawing it and inside, because that's one of those times, like I talked about, you're going against the grain and then trying to get it going. So it can work against you every now and again, but Shark Syed should advance here.
And he will. And this will bring us to the end of this match. And we'll have Roberto Gomez and Jeremy Seaman coming up.
Yeah, stay tuned, everyone.
Stay tuned.
Thanks a lot.